Hey, Howard.
What?
You ever wanted to play a game?
Yeah.
You ever wanted to play a game from before 2005?
Yeah.
Too bad.
Aww.
You can't.
That's true. According to this study that the Video Game History Foundation did in partnership with Software Preservation Network, did their first ever study on what kinds of video games are commercially available. And I guess what they showed off was that, oh, here we go. If you want to buy a game that came out before 2010, you can only get 13% of them right now. 13% of them are commercially available for you to play.
Of all video games.
Before 2010. All of them. That means every single video game that released before January 1st, 2010, you cannot buy 87% of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first of all, before we even get down to the nitty and gritty, that is not only pathetic, but tragic, and what we've been saying this whole time about how people need to actually put their old libraries out.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that, there are some companies that do it well. Capcom does it pretty well. I'm not going to say Nintendo. Don't you dare say Nintendo. They hide it behind an online service, right? That's stupid.
And then they, send cease and desist orders and ruin people's lives for emulation.
Yeah, for emulating their game because someone wanted to play Mario Kart Double Dash, which hasn't been available to buy since 2007, okay?
Which is the best Mario Kart.
Yeah. But it's getting to a point where let's say, okay, there's a new Silent Hill coming in. Okay? There's 4 of them. You cannot play any of the old ones. Now, you can play the garbage HD collections of 2 and 3, which are bad. You can play Homecoming and Downpour, but what if you want to play 1?
Too bad.
Oh, do you want to play the original RE3 instead of the mid-remake?
I sure do, Howard.
Well, sorry, Dave, but die.
Oh.
You ain't getting it.
That was harsh.
I know, but it's either that or pirate it and then get 5% of your income sent to Nintendo for every single paycheck for the rest of your living life until you die.
That's a tough choice.
See? Now, I appreciate that there's some efforts like Steam, which you don't own any game on Steam. The moment the Steam servers go down, you lose all your video games. But at least you can play older games. But it's getting to a point where it doesn't seem like anyone cares. Servers are shut down. They delete games when people just don't want them anymore.
Yeah.
And we're getting to and movies especially, where we're just there's so much media. It's so hard for you to find let's say oh, I love platformers. Well, I'm sorry, you missed the golden age of platformers. None of them are available. Sorry, sucks to suck. Here's this remake that may or may not be good of the same game. Who knows? And it's pathetic. Now, the study then goes on to say, and this is true, the reason how this can be done, because you can go and buy a VHS of Jaws right now, like a secondhand store. Or right now, there's DVD copies of Jaws still in stores. You can buy a copy of Jaws. That's a movie that came out in what,
75.
1975. You can buy a movie in 1975 at a DVD in a Walmart right now.
For very cheap, I'm sure.
And that's because, in order for people to keep their copyright, they still have to kind of sell or have it available. Apparently, a long time ago, essentially, video game makers made a thing saying, we don't need to do that. We're going to keep an archive of this stuff. However, the caveat was they never had to make this archive public or they had to sell anything from this archive. So essentially, every single video game story is what are you talking about? We take good care of our Golden Age library, but they're like General Grievous with the lightsabers hiding them under a cape where you can't buy them.
So what I'm hearing is that we need to stage the biggest hack in video game history.
The Ocean's 11
The Ocean's
of hacks.
11 of video games.
Yes.
And just make that archive public to everyone.
Yeah.
Free of charge.
And yeah, but
We will be vigilantes, and it'll be worth it.
And like, you know, and I hate these people that's like, oh, just buy the game. I don't want to spend $100 on Silent Hill 1.
You shouldn't have to.
No one
shouldn't
should
have to.
It's like as old as me, older than me. I forget when, but like, if I want to try something old, I shouldn't have to go through all these hoops and hurdles, and then be terrified if Konami has a stick up their ass, like Nintendo always does, and decides to sue me for trying to play their video game that they just won't sell. Whining about loss of profits. Who's losing profits because someone's playing Yoshi's World because you can't buy it?
You can't lose profits if you're not making profits off it to begin with.
Yes.
Because if you buy something from a secondhand store, guess what?
It ain't going to Nintendo.
It's not good. The company, the money's not going to the company. It's going to the store. It's going to the store that sells it. It is insane, the logic behind some of these choices.
And then people go like, oh, well, you know, that's just physical. Just get it on digital. Do you know the fragility?
It ain't on digital, boy.
The fragility of digital stores? The best part about a disc is that's the first version of the game before they mess with it, okay? All right? Like, they can at any point, if you buy, I don't know, let's say a digital game. I don't know, let's just say, I don't know, single player game. That new Star Wars game that we just reviewed, Jedi Survivor, right? You do know at any point they can just change whatever they want in the game? Like, oh, you worked really hard to get the Sith lightsaber color. They can just delete it at any point. And guess what? You can't do a thing about it, and you can't even revert back to the original unless you mod or hack the game itself, breaking, technically speaking, rules of breaking copyright law and stuff like that. And then they can just delist the game so you can never download it again, whenever they want. Do you know how many Marvel games there are that are just gone that you just can't play? You have a whole... Yeah, everyone wants to play Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, but they can't.
I have Transformers War for Cybertron on my Steam, but it's not installed, so I just can't play it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, digital only. He can't play a game he bought because it's delisted.
It's just sitting there forever, never to be played.
Yeah. People want to play Spider-Man Web of Shadows, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. They can't. They want to play the Transformers, Cybertron trilogy, whatever.
I never even played Fall of Cybertron. I never got around to it. And then they delisted it, so now I can never play it.
It's gone. Everyone everyone's like, oh, you know, and like we're in an age where there's so many IPs, right? All right, you know what? Here, I'll even do this for anime fans. You do know that there's like a bunch of Naruto and Dragon Ball games that just are not available for you to play or buy because they're gone. One of the largest anime franchises in the world has games that you literally cannot buy and play right now. Come on. Like this is a no-brainer. This is just sad. And like, I'm just looking at this article. Again, check out the Game History Foundation. They do a lot of good work restoring and finding betas and archiving that stuff.
You can probably find the link down in the description.
Yeah, and you can also donate to them.
Yeah.
I know I've done that when I bought certain things from limited run games.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
I think on our Dawn of the Monsters set, which we just did an unboxing for, also down in the description.
Yep.
I think I donated to that when I bought that.
Yeah. So, yeah, the next rulemaking proceeds under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act is going to scheduled for 2024, which, if that's under the Supreme Court, this is probably going to go terribly, because the current Supreme Court is filled with idiots.
They don't know what a video game is.
They didn't know if they didn't know what a video game was in 2012. They're a bunch of stooges. A bunch of stooges that are paid by the Republican Party are definitely not going to know.
Video games, yeah, like that Mario Brothers, the Pac-Man,
Mortal Kombat. Oh, let's just get rid of it then. But yeah, very, very sad news. Very, very sad news. In fact, you could say these companies are doing a big cringe moment.
Very true.